Hello, welcome back to episode 23 of things DIORPIUM wants you to hear about. All right, number one, we're gonna go over the hype grappling thing. That it feels like old news now. It feels like time's moving by pretty fast, but it has not been that long since it happened. We'll go for the first one. Obviously, Edson Barboza versus Shara Bullet. They literally just got sweaty and slithered around into a draw. 'Cause obviously the rules are if you don't, sub, bro, you get the draw because no one got each other. And that one was like pretty all right, you know what I'm saying? Nice to see Edson Barboza doing something. Still a big Edson Barboza fan in the big 2026. Say what you want, but next one was Gene Silva versus Bryce Mitchell. Everything about that was good, man. Them making up, being like friends now, and them like obviously like doing like fake promo of them like scrapping like in the hallway or whatever. Like Bryce Mitchell slapping like the fucking cup out of Gene Silva's hand and shit. If y'all saw that clip, that shit's cool. Uh, and in the press conference too is just like like there's like no bad blood there, but they have to make it like there is. But they're bad at hiding it. They're obviously cool with each other. And Bryce Mitchell like pointing down in the last 10 seconds was pretty funny, and then literally just like trying to shoot on him. That one was pretty good. What was the last one? Yeah, Armin and Makayev, bro. Let's talk about my predictions, bro. I said first two are gonna be draw. If not, they all are. But don't be surprised if Armin gets a rear naked choke. And I'm not trying to be that guy or whatever, but I did say that. I'm just playing. It's not like that crazy of a prediction, bro. Like if no one subs each other, it's a draw, and obviously Armin's gonna fucking choke the fuck out of Makayev because Makayev's a 125er, Armin's a 55er. They're both cutting a good amount of weight to get there, so there's just like a skill issue and a size difference there between them. But that was pretty good match too. Yeah, that's really it for that one. We're gonna go over this rumor or whatever. Nothing's really been announced or probably not. This might not even happen because I could see Leon Edwards declining this fight. But there's a rumor or whatever for Uros Medic versus Leon Edwards, which I think is a great fight. I think Leon Edwards would probably win that, just like via skill and just like vetting Uros Medic. But it's like, oh, what about the knock or the hands of Uros Medic, the power? You know what I'm saying? Just because he slammed out Jeff Neal is not that crazy. Like Carlos Prates destroyed him with the spinning elbow. He was out cold bad. Obviously took some time off, whatever, came back against a heavy hitter like Uros Medic. Done bad, stiff again. Like obviously he doesn't got that chin. His chin's a little glass, and it's the equivalent to like BSD, like throwing his little like overhook and like knocking out Benoit or not Benoit, Benil Dariush. Like it's literally just all chin. And Uros Medic could probably, like knock down Leon Edwards too, because obviously, if we're gonna keep, Carlos Prates in this fucking discussion or whatever, he KO'd Leon Edwards. Sorry, so it could be done. Uros Medic could do it. Don't count out, the knockdown. Maybe get some TKO, or maybe it genuinely just is a knockout. Because I think Uros Medic does have more power than Prates. I'm not gonna lie. So that could be it too. But Leon Edwards could also just like, fight away on his back foot and, do a decision like how, some people like, Lerone Murphy might like to do sometimes. I'm not hitting on Lerone Murphy. It was just like that one Josh Emmett fight, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, he's pretty entertaining. I like not Josh Emmett. Jesus. This past weekend. What the fuck's his name? Fucking Lerone Murphy, bro. So that is what it is. We're going to go into the next one. We got some more Perth fights that, are rumored. I don't know if they're really announced yet, but they're pretty much guaranteed. We got a Cam Rousen fight, so expect that. I don't know his opponent. I couldn't find it. Didn't really dig too deep for it, but it'll pop up eventually, and I'll get y'all a prediction when that time is right. But in the next one, we got Tai Tuivasa versus Sean Sharaf, who, if you don't know, Sean Sharaf is the dude that, got beat the shit out of by Steven Asplund, but pre-Steven Asplund, Vitor Petrino, if y'all have seen that clip, bloody good scrap. They're both bleeding bad. It's crazy. But him versus Tuivasa, I'm going to have to go with Sean here. I just, you can't put money on Tuivasa, bro. It just doesn't make any sense. And how he is still ranked in the top 15 is beyond me. Genuinely crazy. As much as I want Tuivasa to win, yeah, like I said, I just can't rely on that. And then another one, Tim Elliott versus Steve Erceg. That one's going to be good. Probably Tim Elliott, bro. We just saw how he did Asakura. As much as I want Steve Erceg to win too, I think Tim Elliott is just going to outvet him. Maybe just Tim Elliott just seems so well rounded. Like we saw in the Asakura fight, even though he took all that time off, and this would only be a second fight back since all that time off. It's still he just feels like more of a promising pick to me than Steve Erceg. As much as I would prefer Steve Erceg to win, ever since the Pantoja fight, it's like whoa, like no one's really went that scrappy or that close with Pantoja. Obviously, you have other fights that were pretty close or whatever, but obviously Pantoja won like how he did the Usyk fight. But like in the Usyk fight, it came down to him shooting in the last round and just getting like stuffed and held down. Like that shit was that shit was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely think Pantoja just like did not. He just basically just underestimated Usyk and just probably didn't even train as hard or whatever. But you show how that it showed out how it was supposed to pan out. So final one for Perth that's been announced or rumored or whatever is GM3 versus Jacob Malkoun. And this is obviously a Jacob Malkoun finish here. I think he's obviously gonna like probably get a knockdown into like a TKO or something. I could see him actually like chinning GM3, but you know how GM3 is, man. He could always surprise everyone randomly. But I think he's just like genuinely on like the shorter end of his career. Not even on the shorter end. He's just like he needs to retire. Like he's getting a little old. Who did him dirty in who was it off the last card? They fought this weekend. They subbed GM3 in like fucking like 30 seconds or some shit. But who fucking cares? Next one, bro. This is where the real shit comes in. This is the real shit I wanted to talk about. And I was gonna make like separate videos for all these, but then I got like hit with all this knowledge at the same time or whatever. Mike Perry versus Nate Diaz is official for whatever that fucking thing May 14th or whatever, some shit, the MVP card. And I'm about to rant on that shit too, just because it genuinely just is so annoying. But this fight is actually gonna have everyone tuning in, like Nate Diaz coming back, Mike Perry coming back in an MMA fight, and it says it's a 5-minute round fight. So how are you gonna have a triple header basically with like who knows if there's any belts on the line here? I don't fucking know. But that's how good their promo fucking is. But how you gonna have 3 5-rounders, bro? That shit's gonna run so late if they don't have like hella fights on the undercard, or if they do have hella fights on the undercard. But obviously, I'm gonna go with Mike Perry. Nate Diaz is just obviously old, bro. Not trying to count him out, but he could sub Mike Perry in this MMA fight. But I just think Mike Perry has activity. He's been training for real. And I'm not saying Nate hasn't. I don't know because I haven't been catching up with it. I don't know Nate personally. I don't know Mike personally either, but at least Mike posts like him like sparring at like fucking Fusion Excel or whatever. But I'm gonna go with Mike Perry here based off just like activity and still been training and he's still kind of in the business, you know what I'm saying? Nate Diaz obviously is coming back. This is his first fight back after beating Jorge Masvidal in a boxing match or some shit like that. But yeah, and there's this whole like talk about MMA or Netflix trying to get in the MMA scene, and it's like I just had to like this is obviously common sense. It doesn't take a lot for like for someone to come with this conclusion based off everything. Netflix will never be like the UFC, bro. Or MVP will never be like UFC, bro. You literally have these old dusted up fighters that aren't even in the UFC anymore. And sorry, let me not say dusted up. I have much respect for Nate Diaz, Mike Perry, and that's it. Fuck Ronda Rousey. I don't want to say fucking Ngannou, but he doesn't have like the best, I don't even know the right word, but the best reputation or whatever. So I don't really respect these guys. And you have these two people who are like actually just talking shit, enemies of the UFC, promoting this other card that this is the first like MVP card that's genuinely good. And they're trying to like, this is our card, solidifying our foot in the MMA space or in this like promotion scene. Dude, UFC's putting quality out week in, week out. Basically, here and there we'll get a week off. Yes, we complain about the Apex cards, but even those shit Apex cards are better than this I'm not going to say that. They're not better than this MVP card because, these are, all going to be good fights or whatever. Except the Ronda Rousey fight. No one really gives a genuine fuck. And she's the one that is the one saying that, like, fuck the UFC. Hunter Campbell pissed off the wrong bitch or whatever. But it's just like, bro, you're actually just, like, embarrassing yourself. And if you lose that fight, like, what the fuck? Imagine that. Who knows, though. But let's go back to Mike Perry versus Nate Diaz. Not Nate Diaz. Oh, yeah, Nate Diaz. Sorry, I thought I was saying Nick. No, yeah, Mike Perry versus Nate Diaz. That one's going to be good. But, yeah, Netflix is – they're in the entertainment business. They're not in the, MMA business. So they'll never be able to put out quality like the UFC does week in, week out, basically is all I'm trying to say. And that goes for Netflix and MVP or whatever the fuck. They can try, but, they're going to get sunned or whatever, but We're gonna go into the next one. Update on the Rozenstruik situation. So this is actually good news for the heavyweight division too, because that obviously with Michael Garcia versus Rob Perez, that's gonna for the interim belt or whatever. And basically for Jairzinho Rozenstruik, I'm gonna read it off for you guys. Obviously, it will be on the screen as well right now. His charges got dropped. So let's read this. Ex-UFC fighter Jairzinho Rozenstruik had the domestic violence charges against him dropped in Broward County, Florida, after prosecutors decided not to pursue the case after he was arrested in January. Court files show that prosecutors dropped a pair of charges, a felony charge for false imprisonment and a misdemeanor for battery, on March 6th. The alleged victim in the case, who identified herself as Rozenstruik's wife, filed paperwork with the courts in January asking for the charges to be dropped. This is what she said. Myself and Jairzinho Rozenstruik have been married for approximately 6 years with no domestic related issues. It's completely out of the norm for either of us, and we've never experienced this before, the letter states. We have one child together who's 4 years old. We do reside together as a family with no issues. He's in fact an incredible father and husband. I'm not in fear for my life. I'm not in any danger at all. Okay. Okay. So all we'll say is okay. And pray that something doesn't come up again later, because I don't know. Maybe she's being like forced to say this so Rozenstruik can like continue his career in DBX, or just like fighting in general. Who knows? I'm not even trying to put that out there. That's obviously alleged. That's not even. I don't know them, but nah. We gotta go based off the courts, man. Everything's smooth with the Jairzinho situation, so he'll obviously be returning to fight the winner of Michael Garcia versus Rob Perez. So whoever that is, that's gonna be crazy. But yeah, that's solidifying that. I got no other really much further thoughts on that. Just kind of is what it is. Just kind of relaying the message or whatever. But and then we got these new DBX matchups that did get announced. So this Miami card is actually filling up pretty fairly good here. All of them seem really entertaining. I don't think we have any women's fights so far, which I'm not like, I'm just putting that out there. I'm not complaining or anything, but the first one here is we got a matchup of the Henrys, bro. And I don't know. I'm going to keep it a buck here. I don't know which Henry I want. No, I do. I want the Henry on the left to win, because he just seems, I just like the way his head movement was. If you look him up on Instagram, and kind of like the way he kind of like rolled into that like uppercut, that shit was pretty smooth. He has a good one too. He obviously is fighting bare knuckle or whatever, but the other Henry looks pretty solid too. But I'm not even gonna have a prediction on this. I'm just gonna let the fucking may the best Henry win. Basically, is all I'm trying to say. Then we finally got Milos Jankic. I can't say that fucking last name good. Milos Jankic or whatever versus what's his name, Burley. Let's go on the fucking Instagram here and pull up their fucking real names. We have Milos Jankic versus Taylor Burley. Taylor Burley looks solid, but he just looks like a low-tier BKFC fighter. So obviously this is going to be Milos Jankic by Crazy Destruction. I'm very excited for that. Always love a Milos Jankic fight, especially for DBX. We all fuck with him for his, Mario Mushroom tattoo on his shoulder. And then, bro, this is actually crazy, bro. So Monte Albano has a new opponent. His name is Block Stymien. So, Block looks like a fucking straight chiller. I'm not gonna lie. If you go on his Instagram, just his whole vibes or whatever, he just seems like a real dude that I could probably get down with. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, basically what happened is Bam Bam Hodesine. We know Bam Bam. We all fuck with Bam Bam. Whatever. He's 1-1 in DBX. This is actually crazy, bro. His daughter got hit by a stray bullet in the leg, and they're in the hospital. I'm not gonna put any pictures up or whatever. Like, that's not necessary. But you can go look at his Instagram if you really want to go see that. There's all the proof, and that's just crazy. Like, your daughter getting hit in the leg by a stray bullet, so you have to pull out of your DBX fight. Nothing but not even respect, because I can't even not that I can't respect that him pulling out, but I can't respect that the fact that his daughter got shot in the leg. Like, it's nothing but thoughts and prayers, in the Instagram comments or whatever. But yeah, but Block Stymien looks fucking good. I think he could definitely fucking knock out Monte Agbana, but and I'm gonna go with that for my prediction. But I really think the real outcome here is Monte Agbana doing exactly what he did to James Cannon and fighting off his back foot. I hope that Block Stymien can kind of like come, in fast enough to kind of catch Agbana as he like just runs away the whole time. But I literally couldn't find any like footage or anything of this dude, which I obviously got to do more research or whatever because I got to give good quality predictions and content or whatever. But I'll do that when they fucking. It's like almost fight week and they drop the fucking card picture. You know what I'm saying? So I can just go through them all smooth or whatever. But that one's gonna be really good. Very excited for that one. What was the next one on here that they announced? That's it, right? Oh no, bruh. This one. Oh my god. We got a 6'7" versus a 6'6", and that's height differential. This is gonna be the tallest dirty boxing fight ever, and this shit actually looks crazy, bro. What's his name? Tibaba or Adam Progress. Adam Progress is this tall fucking just 6'7" skinny black dude. It's gonna go crazy versus this guy named Big Boy Blake Lakaze. And I watched a little bit of like footage of them or whatever. Blake looks solid, you know what I'm saying? He definitely looks like he could do some damage, but he also looks like he could be a star in like the like hillbilly fighting league or whatever the fuck that shit's called. That's in like Tennessee where it's like just fucking. You've probably seen the clips, bro. That shit's crazy. But as far as like Adam Progress goes, I assume that's his real name. Yeah, Adam Progress. He looks so crazy. He's a Muay Thai champ. Or not Muay Thai. I don't know if that's a fact, actually. It says future champ in his bio here, but he looks saucy on the pads. I'm going with him for my prediction. I could see this. Bro, as much as I want to see one of them tall-ass dudes just like full, I don't know if that's going to happen. I could definitely see a decision. But, dude, this ring is so small and they're so tall and big. And, like, they can't even move around. This really has, like, a knockout written on it, bro. And I'm gonna say Adam Progress gets it. So that one's gonna be pretty fucking good. Looking forward to that one so much. Like, this is all just like pure entertainment, and I'm very excited. This Miami card is actually like piecing up to be really good and just be quality. Because some people are talking about, not some people, no one really talks about the shit, bro. But I can feel like the vibe that Perez versus Garcia isn't like the quality main event that they wanted, but I completely disagree. I think it's very high quality. We're gonna move on to the last thing here. Alex Pereira signs an 8-fight deal with the UFC, so expect him to run the heavyweight division for the next like 3 or 4 years. And this basically also guarantees triple champ status. So him becoming the first person to be champ in 3 different divisions. It would have been Ilya if the Islam did not get injure his hand or whatever. But I don't know. This is gonna be really good. Obviously, he's fighting Cyril Gane on the White House card on June 14th. That one's gonna be really exciting. But an 8-fight deal is crazy. I thought he would max have like 4 fights left in him, but it looks like he's ready to fucking go. And like, I'm not trying to be like a salty predictor or whatever, but I could definitely see towards the end of Pereira's career, just like him like having like 1 or 2 fights left on the deal, but them not really using him because maybe he's like a McGregor type status. To where not like he's like doing coke or whatever and just can't fucking do a camp, but like they want to trap him in contract a little bit so he can't like go do boxing money or like some shit, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I was watching the interview with him and Ariel Helwani and Polino Cruz or whatever, fucking being the translator. He just seems like everything's good. They blessed him. He's blessing them with activity. Maybe not even just activity, but just like a guaranteed like 8-fight deal or whatever. But God knows how much money he signed for. But may he just live on a yacht forever, basically, is all I'm trying to say. But yeah, congratulations to him. That's very good news for him and his future or whatever. But that's really all I have for all this shit today. I'm gonna drop the prediction video probably tomorrow. Or I gotta do it today, man. I gotta do it today because I work all day tomorrow. And I don't want to drop them too late on a Thursday, you know what I'm saying? But we'll figure it out. I appreciate y'all for watching or whatever for this, episode of things DIORPIUM wants you to hear. Sorry for assaulting the mic. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Let me know what you thought. I appreciate you.